Hello, my friends. Welcome to my spiritual sanctuary. My name is Sandra, and it is Sunday, and here we are doing the Spiritually Speaking with Sandra on Sunday. So I hope you had a wonderful week, and I just wanted to come back and say to all of you that tonight I'm ready to talk about the next Hermetic principle, number 2, and that is the principle of correspondence. And I'm going to keep it short tonight because I'm thinking that keeping these videos under 10 or 15 minutes is probably easier for people because, of course, time is of the essence and everybody's busy these days. And so I just want to get to the core issues with you and then, just give you the principle to work on this week. How did everybody do last week with the principle of the mental realm? That's the conscious mind and all of the things we talked about. If this is your first time here, I want to say welcome. We're glad to have you. And I would encourage you to look at the video from last week where we did the Hermetic principle number 1, okay? And then also the intro that was the week prior to that. And if you've been back, if you're coming back and you enjoyed last week, then great, I'm glad. And I'm hoping that you had a chance to work on that Hermetic principle this week so you could, kind of get that under your belt. So here we go with number 2 is the principle of correspondence. And the principle of correspondence I don't even really need to go to the book to kind of summarize it for you guys. It's really all about as above, so below. And so below, so above. So what we're really talking about is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimensions. So as the 5th dimension is the heavenly realm, it's where all the angels and archangels and the divine source, the unmanifest, resides. Then the 3D is our 3D world of matter. And that is, matter into form and physical bodies. So when we're talking about manifestation, it's all about as above, so below. So we're manifesting from a higher level playing field. All manifestation takes place in the unseen world before it is manifest into the seen world. The same thing with disease in the body. It manifests in our energy field first before it manifests into our physical bodies. So our attitudes, our thoughts, our belief systems, they all play into what gets attached to the physical body to create illness. That's why it's very important that we pay attention to those things we're thinking about. How are we living our lives through our belief systems and our attitudes? This week, was Friday the 13th, and so a lot of people, they have superstitions if they're just, haven't been exposed to what mind over matter is, and we're living a conscious life instead of an unconscious life. And I'm not here to judge because we're all where we're supposed to be at any given time. However, if our mind is in the right place, our attitudes and the way we move through life is conducive to a higher vibration as above, then it will be below. So I would like to kind of just say that if you're really wanting to create heaven on earth, which ultimately that's what we all want, because that's where peace, love, compassion reside, and all those higher vibration of of emotions, then we have to be connecting with the fifth dimensional world. We have to be connecting with the unseen world in some shape or form, so that we're bringing the upper world to the lower world, the world of matter. So that's why it's so important to have as above, so below, to have that connection through meditation, through sitting in silence, connecting to that unseen world of the divine, and getting your answers through prayer and meditation. Even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes a day, will change your life. And it's also building your surroundings, so that you're removing all toxicity from your life, anything that would be considered lower vibrations. For instance, you want to create an environment in your home we do that through Feng Shui, where you have an energetic flow to your home. You have things in your home that you love, that you enjoy looking at. You have space for everything, and you have a flow in all of the energy centers. You have good smells in the home. It's clean, and it's, you have cleanliness. You have compassion and joy in the home with other occupants. So that is creating a space of heaven on earth as well. And it's all about consciousness. It's moving through consciousness in a way that is allowing the unseen world to come in to the seen world. And that's what we do when we work with the energy of Feng Shui in your space as well. It would also be looking at the astrology of what's going on in the planetary realm and how that's affecting us on the 3D realm, because that's also a component of heaven. The heavens, the universe, the unseen, the energy shifts and flows of how the planetary systems are affecting us on an energetic level on the planet. So that's when we would look at what are the planetary aspects that are affecting you, and how can we move in alignment with those and ride the higher energies instead of the lower energies through life. So we're looking at every component of our life: mental, spiritual, physical, and emotional. And those realms, so to speak, are important to pay attention to, and how we're moving through our lives. Mental being our thoughts, and how we're getting up each day, and how we're moving through our day, how we're treating other people. Are we being kind, loving, compassionate? Are we of service? Do we just get up and move through our day unconsciously? There is a difference. And so you do have free will, you have free choice to bring the unseen to the seen, but it does take a certain level of vibration and different choices that you make on every step, every minute, every hour of the day. So, as above, so below, as within, so without. So it all begins inside you as a human being on this planet. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, is what our wonderful Dr. Wayne Dyer has taught us. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So what is within us is going to show up in our outer world. So we have to really be careful what's inside, what we're thinking, our thoughts, how our emotions are affecting us. We always have choice of how emotionally we're going to take situations that come up in our lives. And are we going to go to anger? Are we going to go to sadness? Are we going to go to joy? Are we going to go to indifference? Are we going to be apathetic? Are we going to show empathy? All of these vibrations in our emotions have a different vibrationary level. And so we want to keep our vibe high, so to speak, so that we are always in a state of peace, and calm, and pausing before we speak, and learning that things are happening for us, not to us. And I know, as hard as it seems sometimes, especially right now, this world that we're living in is tough, with, the COVID, and now, the lockdowns are taking place again. People are spending a lot more time at home, and, I'm one of those as well. My family is across the country, and I've been spending a lot of time alone, which has helped me to develop a more spiritual approach to life. When you are forced to be alone a lot for long periods of time, you have a lot of time to go within and look and see what are the causes that are creating the effects in your life, and then you have the option to change those, right? And that would be looking to the heavens, going through prayer, meditation, and listening to God, listening to my ancestors, honoring my ancestors, tapping into the other side, and listening to what the unseen world has to say about the seen world. Now, I'll tell you, since I have tapped in, the ancestors and our loved ones that have passed over are coming over in droves. The veil is being thinned out right now because they understand that we need their help. So always open up to those loved ones that have passed on, as well as the divine, the archangels, the saints, angels. All of them want to help during this time of crisis. And especially now we're coming up to the holy seasons. And so even more so, they would love to come in and join us. And they are just like in another room, and like energy does not die, it just transforms. So even though they don't have physical bodies of the 3D world, and just because we can't see them does not mean they're not there. They are there with us. The same way we know electricity is going to be there when we plug in our plug and turn on a light. We can't see electricity. We see the effect of it, but we don't actually see electricity, but we know it's there. So the same thing with the unseen world. It's there, we just don't know. We just don't see it. And it's always there to tap into. And one of the things that I learned from studying with a lot of the Hawaiian traditions was there's an Aka field. And the Aka field is all around us. And it's almost like a web that it connects everybody into oneness. So we can't see that either, but we do know it exists because it's been handed down from the ancients for, eons of time. So I'm just here to say that if you are experiencing a quote-unquote hell in your life, or conflict, or problems and challenges, you may want to consider just opening up to the unseen world and tapping into those resources that are all around you and just waiting for you to ask for help. And that is above, so below. And once you start bringing it into your life and utilizing it, then you'll see that you will have heaven on earth. It will become very peaceful. The energy starts to shift and change, and things start to lighten up when you surrender to it. Surrender and release the problems to God and the universe, and let them take it away, and let the divine timing take care of it, because ultimately we don't have control over the things in our lives that happen at times. You know, we can make the correct decisions and we can have free will and free choice, but ultimately there's a bigger plan at work. And once we need to tap into that flow from the heavens, and that will allow the greater good to come into your life and help you to heal from any challenges, problems, conflicts that you're having. So that has pretty much been what I wanted to say about the Hermetic principle of correspondence. So it is your correspondence with the divine, with the unmanifest, as above, so below. So keep that in mind this week. Tap into the energy, and you have all week to practice. And then next week, come back and we'll be talking about the law of vibration, and that'll be another topic. Okay? It was wonderful speaking with you this evening, and it's always a pleasure and a joy to speak spiritually with you on Sunday. So I'll look forward to seeing you next week, and have a wonderful week ahead, my friends. Until we meet again, namaste.